Hello my planner pals and welcome back. And if you're new here, then thank you for joining me in my new craft room. Today we're going to discuss what you need to know before you get a Cricut. One of these, which you can't really see because it matches the color of my walls. Did not plan it that way, but it's a pretty good match. Let's get started. So what is a Cricut? Some of you may not even know what a Cricut is. It's this little machine here, and it basically will cut stickers for you. So you can print out your things and it will cut around the shapes. That's what it does. It's a cutting machine. Now, the first thing that I want to say is, do you need a Cricut? I want you to really be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do you really need one of these things? It depends on what you're going to do. You need to know what kind of person that you are. Are you the kind of person that likes to go into your sticker books, flip through, decide what you're going to use, splat them down? Or are you the kind of person that's going to go to Etsy, download something, or go to Canva, design something, and then import it into the Cricut design software, and then cut it and print it? How involved do you really want to be in your sticker designing process? Because it takes time. It takes time. They don't tell you this, but that thing is noisy for one, and for two, it takes time. It's not just something that you can be like, okay, I want to have some boxes. You got to decide what color do you want, what size do you want. You got to print them out. You got to then cut them, and then they're done. It's not like, oh, I need some boxes. Ta-da! There's some boxes. Nuh-uh. There's time involved. There's a design process involved. So you need to figure out, are you the kind of person that is going to sit down and do that? You can just buy stuff and import that into the Cricut design software, but again, are you the kind of person that's going to do that? Another thing that you need to think about before you go out and get one of these things is, do you have the space for it? As you can see here, I've got this little kind of table here, which I've just been printing stuff and cutting stuff, so mine is out right now, but I usually don't have it out all the time. But I need somewhere for it to be out because it needs to have space. You can see that little blue cutting mat there. It needs to have space this side for that to go in, and that side for it to go out. It needs space front and back. So you need to have somewhere that you can set it out on a surface where it can move the cutting mat back and forth to actually cut. So you got to have some space for it. Do you have that space? If you don't have the space for it, you are not going to use it. So you got to have some space. So one of the other things that you need to figure out is, for the Cricut design software to work, you need to be online. Now, there is an app you can get on your phone, and yes, it does work with Android phones. I have never used it. I've never needed to. I just use mine up on my computer, because here's my thing. I've used apps and stuff like that. They're awkward at best to design with, and yeah, if I want something at like 1.5 by 2.5 and I'm trying to do it on the little app, no, it's bad enough trying to do it in the design software. So no. My preference is to use the online version, the computer version, which will work on a laptop. It will work on your desktop. So use that would be my advice rather than your phone. But you can use it with your phone. It's going to be trickier. I will say that. It's going to be trickier. I got my computer on all day anyway, so that for me, that works. All right, so one of the other questions that you need to ask yourself is, what do you plan on doing with this sucker? What do you plan on doing with it? Because there are 3 types of Cricut, I believe. I think there's the Joy, which is the little mini version. There's the Explore, which is this version. And then there's the Maker, and they all are different sizes and can cut different things. So the Joy is the little small one. It's probably about yay big. It's not very big. So you're going to be limited to the size of things that you can cut. However, I feel like that would be, if your space was an issue, that would be the easiest to use. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? But if you're shelling out the money for a Joy, that one's not much more expensive. So, you know, I would probably, that's the one I went with. This is the medium version, this is the Explore. So you've got the Joy, which is the smaller mini version. You've got the Explore, the Air, which is this version, and that will cut paper, it will cut vinyl, It will cut cardstock. What else have I cut with it? Yeah, like thin things. Thin things. Like if you're just doing planner stickers, that will do everything that you want. If you're the kind of person that maybe you have other hobbies other than planning and you want to use it for something else, maybe you want to use it for cutting tin or leather, then the maker will cut those. I had no interest in using mine for that, so the Explore did everything that I wanted. And frankly, that was $150, I think. No, it was $130. I got it on sale on Amazon for $130. That also leads me to the next point. You don't need the latest and greatest model. That is the Explore 2. That's the Explore 2, which I think they're on the Explore 3. I don't have the newest, latest version of it. I didn't see the point. I don't need the newest and latest version. Yeah, you don't need the newer version. Just go with the previous version and take advantage of paying less, would be my advice with that. What else do you need to know before you get a Cricut? If your goal is to print and cut things, I don't have anything else other than boxes, to print and cut things. Maybe you want to go into Canva, design some things, and you want to print and cut. Well, your sticker paper is 8.5 by 11. You can't print and cut that whole area. There's a limit to the amount that you can print and cut, and that is this. That is 6 3/4 by 9 1/4 this way. So I hope you can see that. That is the maximum area that you can cut. So it's slightly inside your 8.5 by 11 sheet. Like from here to here is the maximum area that you can print and cut. So you're not going to use all of your sheet. That's something else you might want to think about. The other thing is, if you plan on doing a lot of printing and cutting to make your own stickers, you're going to also have to invest in a good printer. Another cost, printer cartridges, sticker paper, and also tools for your Cricut. That could be a whole other video all on its own, is tools for your Cricut. Hot tip, you don't have to buy the Cricut brand name things. Okay, so here's the rub. Are you prepared to be the kind of person that spends a Sunday afternoon printing out boxes that then cut all wonky? Because sometimes this sucker, it stuffs up. Stuff is not the word I was looking for. It stuffs up, and you end up with things like this that print great, but then they cut stupid. It cuts stupid. There's no other word for it. It just has a freaking meltdown for no reason. So if this is the kind of stuff that annoys you and you end up wasting a piece of sticker paper, don't get a Cricut, because that will happen. It will happen to you. So my advice for you, if you are interested in exploring the possibility of getting a Cricut, is this. 3 steps. 1, start printing out your own boxes, even if it's just on paper. If you don't have the patience to print out your boxes and cut them, you do not have the patience to own one of these suckers. 2, once you've printed it out on paper, then print it out on sticker paper and see how you feel about spending your money on sticker paper, because it's more expensive than regular paper. And then 3, if all of that seems fine and you're fine and dandy with it, think about how much you would actually use a cutting machine rather than cutting these out by hand. That would be my advice. Are you the kind of person that goes and just dives in and then just buys one and then is like, just see what happens? Or are you the kind of person that buys something and then immediately regrets it? I don't regret buying mine. I use mine a lot because you've seen me before. Even for just boxes, like, yeah, but it will screw up. It will print things and then cut them, and then you're like, that is nowhere near the cut line that it's supposed to be. Nowhere near it. You will have to calibrate it occasionally to make sure that it's cutting where it should be. So there will be issues with it. The upsides are everything that you need to get going is in the box that it comes in. It comes with these little, like, foolproof things, like a 4-step program. They'll walk you through everything step by step, and you'll make your first thing, and then you'll cut it out, and then you'll be like, yay, I've done it. And then you'll completely forget that the next time that you open the thing. So, yeah. But if you're the kind of person that doesn't like creating things or just wants it to work, the Cricut is not for you, because it doesn't just do that. This is not to dissuade you from getting a Cricut. I love my Cricut. Like I buy my sticker paper in the packs of 100, but I also know when to close that sucker down and then just walk away and then go to it the next day, because sometimes it will drive you absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So I think that is it of the things that you need to know before you get a Cricut, or you even are thinking about getting a Cricut. Let me know in the comments down below if you've got any questions that I can maybe help answer. Whether you want to see me calibrate my Cricut, whether you want me to see me design stuff in Canva or the Cricut software, or anything. What do you want to know about the Cricut? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, something a little bit different. If you did, then give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you next time, my planner pals. Bye! And yes, it's sitting over there because after it did the wonky cuts yesterday, I just had to walk away, or I was going to throw it outside into my pool.